Hi, Guido Fox here. Welcome by a new book report. Today I want to discuss with you the book Innocence, Knowledge and Wonder from Osho, of course. Today I want to give a summary about 180 pages of spiritual depth knowledge, spiritual revolution in your inner energetic system. And I would like to give some points of learning here for you so that you don't have to read the book yourself. And that is my value, of course, in the coaching sessions, but also in the videos, that you don't have to read all those pages, but I give you the information, what is, I think, relevant for you guys, relevant for your inner ecstatic happiness, your inner work, and for your whole life approach. So I'm a life coach, I'm a spiritual life coach, so I try to make your life more acceptable, because a lot of people are struggling in their lives. They're struggling in their relationships, they're struggling in their career, they're struggling with finding their spiritual path. What kind of teachers are fitting by you? What kind of priest? What kind of church? What kind of religion is fitting by you? So there are a lot of people in search for meaning, right? For a meaningful life. And I try to support you with that life and that issues what you have in life. Um, First, this book, I have 4 topics for you to discuss. And the first topic, what Osho is mentioned in his preface and later on page 11, is that a lot of people are hanging in the knowledge phase. And let me explain that a little bit more. A lot of people are reading a lot, and do it from a kind of fear modus. They want to read. They want to read because they have a fear of not knowing, or a fear that they not can become by a group of people who also read, or they're so bored that they're starting to read from boredom. So there are a lot of people who are staying in knowledge, 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 and that can be also a kind of addiction to your mind, because your mind can be addicted with information. And that's also what you see nowadays on the mobile phones. We are sitting on our mobile phones every time and we're reading the news, and the news is constantly refreshing their pages because you don't want to miss something out, right? So you're constantly reading the news, newspapers, or online, and new books, new articles. You want to following everyone because you don't want to miss out something, right? So knowledge can be addiction, and knowledge can also be that you become heady. And that's also where the school systems is responsible for, right? To sit ages of hours, hours long in the school banks to adapt information. And we can ask ourselves the question, is that not kind of information overload? Makes us that happy? Is that close to nature? Is that close to our natural core, that we are adopting information hours and hours and hours in the office, in the school systems, makes us that happy? Is that natural balance there? I think that's a very relevant question for your happiness, right? If you're constantly reading, constantly adapting information, there is no empty mind for God. There is no empty mind for religiousness. There is no empty mind for higher spiritual experiences. So we're overloading with information. Be aware of that. We are conditioned like that way, and it's kind of rat race, right? Who is knowing more and more? I'm reading only 1 or 2 hours per day, right? And then I meditate or doing something with my hands or cleaning or walking around, right? So balance is optimal there. And he relates it also to the tree of knowledge from Adam and Eva. And they were eating an apple from the tree of knowledge. And the deeper layer there is that they eat from the tree of knowledge. So they were eating from knowledge. They were in a rat race for information overload. That is here the deepest core, the deepest layer of the Adam and Eve story in Christianity. They become heady. Adam and Eve become heady. They become full of information, and there was no place for God anymore. There was no place for religiousness anymore. There was no place for no mind, right? But we have to go through that overload phase. That's what Osho also writing. We had to be a child. And child is going to different phases of growing. So we have to know that information overload can be lead to burnouts and depressions. So it's a complex part of growth. And later you can drop that addiction and drop that poison of constantly grabbing to knowledge. Your ego wants constantly knowledge. Your ego wants to grab, wants to attach, right? So let it go. Just meditate, just doing something, walking outside more, training in the gym, meditate, be more imbalanced between knowledge, theory, hanging on your computer screen, and be more outside, right? So drop that addiction to knowledge. I think that is very healthy to do. And on page 11, Osho writes, we have to change from knowing to feeling. We have to feel more what is going on inside you. What do you feel? Because of all these school institutions, we are dislearned how to feel. We're so astray from nature that we cannot feel anymore what is going on in yourself. We are closed, right? We are closed. Our rationalization process is so high in our Western culture. We are rational. We are cold-hearted, right? We're closed. So we have to go from knowing to feeling. Feel inside what is going on in your system, in your body, and go more inside. Then, if you reach ecstatic feelings in your side, then time stops. Time stops, ego stops, and mind stops. Jesus was saying, there shall no time longer. There shall be no time longer. If you're kind of so ecstatic, the time flies. The time goes quickly and quickly and passed on because you're so unbelievable happy. Happy with yourself. Time flies. Jesus was saying there shall be no time any longer. No time, no ego, no mind, no tree of knowledge anymore, right? No Heady-Stage. You're growing out of the Heady-Stage. That's past. That's your past evolutionary stage. If you look in spiritual evolution. Next topic. How more spiritual evolved you are, how more introvert and extrovert you will become. You become whole. You become in balance. You become a whole personality. So you become extremely introvert and extremely extrovert. You can switch when you want. You can come in the house, you're introvert, and out the house, you're extrovert. So, how more androgreen, your personality become? How more you can use that both qualities. That are also the new leaders, right? The new leaders in this world are introvert and extrovert in one. So this is not what the recruitment boys and ladies were telling to you when you were there. Are you introvert or are you extrovert? And I always said that I was both. I am introvert and I am extrovert. But they didn't believe it. They were too rational. They were conditioned in their big five theories and their questionnaires. Right? Are you introvert or extrovert? Our mind always want to think black-white. How more you are in your mind, how more black-white thinking. How more box thinking. How more you connected with your inner self, how more you see the whole picture, how more nuanced you are, how less you putting people in boxes. How less you split in black and white. How more whole you become. So that's what you see, right? You can be whole. You can be out of knowledge. You can be introvert. And you can shine extrovert. It's a combination of both. That makes you also more happy and chill and relaxed person. The next topic is innocent. I want to talk about innocent. And that is not the innocent of a child. And I want to read something from Osho on page 154. The man of wisdom is innocent, but on a far higher level, he is not childish. And it's important to understand in your spiritual progress is that you becoming the stage further than child. And our society is saying then you are an adult, then you are a grandfather or a grandmother, and then you are wise, then you are so old and wise. You are so much wisdom if you're old. The society thinks how older you are, how more wisdom you have. What a nonsense. Some people have amazing quantity of past life experiences. Some people have also meditation experience for so many hours. Don't fall in that trap that you cannot have wisdom if you are so young. So believe in yourself, right? You can have wisdom at any age. So don't listen to that old people or to your so-called school teachers that you don't have wisdom. Trust yourself. You are a wise person, right? Because you watched this video, of course. The man of wisdom is innocent, but on a far higher level, he is not childish. He is growing from child to adult and then back to child. It's his new birth. When you're opening up your chakras and you feel ecstatic lines, then there is a rebirth going on in your system. Then you become child again. That's what Jesus was saying. You become child again. His innocence is out of maturity. His innocence is out of tremendous experiences. You need a lot of experiences, life experiences. The child is without any experience, the Sage, the Holy Spirit, has passed through all kinds of experiences, good and bad, and he has transcended them. He has again become a child, a drunk, divine child. He has again become a child, but his childhood, his second childhood, is based on a very solid ground which cannot be taken away. It's a fundament, and strong fundament of the house of a child. So I am a big child, but I am definitely not childish. I can say that most 90% of all the adults are childish. "99% of the people are childish. Childish behavior. In line with Osho, the average age in personal development is 14. People grow maybe in knowledge, in their field of work, but if you look on the jokes what people make, if you look what the behavior is in group dynamics, if you look the behavior in relationships, if you look how people walk on the street, what they're shouting to each other, the average age is 14. Think about that. What is wisdom? What is knowledge? What is adult? Page 163. The man we call enlightenment is not the man who knows the answer. He is not grabbing for knowledge. Oh, I have to search for the answer, what clients are asked for me. I give spontaneously answers. Right? So, the man of enlightenment is not the man who knows the answer. He knows nothing, but he feels everything. He knows nothing, but he feels everything. Right? He don't know the answer, but he is the man whose questions have disappeared. The man of enlightenment, the man who reached higher spiritual stages, has no questions anymore. He knows the ultimate goal. He knows the ultimate feeling, inner feeling, ecstaticness. He knows where to go with his mind. He has no questions anymore. He knows it. He feels it. And then he has to spread love, to spread understanding, to spread compassion. Then you're flowering in yourself and you want to spread that flowering into the world. So there's no questions anymore. I don't have answers, I don't have questions anymore. It's okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. No tree of knowledge anymore. No grabbing, no attachment, no addictions. That's okay. It's a balanced life. Thank you for watching this video. And until the next wonderful spiritual book. Hi.